Welcome to China Gateway 360, connecting global businesses with China through insights, opportunities, and trends. Today, we're diving straight into a vital boardroom briefing on navigating the complex regulatory landscape of foreign investment screening in China. Here is our roadmap. We'll quickly cover rethinking classification, building an activity matrix, the 4 regulatory screens, defining your entry model, securing your business scope, and finally, governance. Let's start with Section 1, rethinking industry classification. You see, trying to box your business into generic labels like technology or clean energy is actually the wrong approach here. Regulatory screening isn't about broad strokes. It's a highly specific activity classification exercise based entirely on your operating facts. To get this right, every single distinct line of business has to be separated and evaluated against 6 key decision factors: your activity, customer base, revenue, technology, location, and counterparty. Skip this step, and you're practically inviting unforeseen regulatory hurdles. Moving on to Section 2, building the activity matrix. Once those operating facts are pinned down, the activity matrix becomes your core tool. It maps your facts directly against access results and operating conditions. And here is the crucial part. Your strategy has to be backed by verifiable legal text and official source dates, rather than just brief, unsupported legal opinions.
China Gateway. Gateway.
Your gateway to business in China.
This leads us to Section 3, the 4 regulatory screens. With the matrix built, your facts must systematically pass through 4 specific screens. Screen 1, it checks the National Foreign Investment List to see if your activity gets national treatment, faces structural restrictions, or is outright prohibited. Just remember, the actual substance of what you do always overrides whatever label is slapped on the contract. Next up is Screen 2, which involves free trade zones. While these zones do offer alternative access frameworks, you should only evaluate them after your specific operating location and activities are completely nailed down. And we really need to dispel what we call the mailing address myth. Simply having a registered address inside a zone does not magically make your offsite operations eligible for those favorable policies. The activity actually has to happen there. Board papers should always explicitly compare the FTZ route with a standard local route to grasp the real-world impact on logistics and talent. Screen 3 looks at the 2025 market access list. Even if foreign ownership was given the green light back in Screen 1, this 3rd screen applies to everyone. It determines if you still need a specific operational qualification or market entry license to actually do business. Finally, we hit Screen 4, which accounts for overarching regulations like data processing, cybersecurity, and export controls. It's a perfect reminder that just because you aren't on a negative list doesn't mean your operation is unregulated. Section 4, defining the entry model. After navigating those 4 screens, the results dictate your corporate entry model. While permitted activities give you flexibility, like setting up a wholly foreign-owned enterprise, restricted activities will force you into a joint venture. And if you go the JV route, rigorous governance over reserved matters, IP, and exit strategies is absolutely non-negotiable. Now, for Section 5, securing your business scope. Translating your entry model into a legally functional company means locking in your registered business scope. It needs to be broad enough to cover your daily operations, but must strictly exclude unsupported regulated activities. This exact scope has to align perfectly across the board, from your approved matrix right down to your marketing descriptions and issued invoices. And our final section, 6, resolving ambiguity and governance. Because the regulatory landscape is rarely black and white, establishing protocols for ambiguity is crucial for risk management. When you hit a gray area, follow these steps. Proactively define your facts, submit them to competent authorities for a documented view, and rigorously record the exact details of that consultation. Ongoing governance is just as critical. Anytime you launch a new product, enter a new province, or change your data categories, you must run a mandatory review of your activity matrix. An unmonitored operation will slowly accumulate a regulatory mismatch, which is a disaster waiting to happen during an audit or exit. So, we leave you with this paramount rule for corporate compliance in China. Substantive investments, whether leases, tech transfers, or capital, must be anchored by documented facts and formal results. Never rely on an undocumented phone call or simple assumptions. That's all for this China Gateway 360. Like and comment to receive materials from us. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.